I remember in the 1970s, late 1970s and early 1980s, there was this talk about the environment that was starting. Unfortunately, I did not have the occasion at that time to meet Anil Agarwal, but certainly I had heard of him at that point of time. And one of the thrilling moments that many of us felt at that point of time was the state of the environment, the citizens' report, I think it was called at that time, on the state of the environment that was published in 1982, and then all of us were looking forward to similar publications every year. So this kind of a change in understanding the issues about the environment started maybe around that time when you had a problem about the Missouri hills, which were being used for limestone mining and so on. When the Supreme Court said that the greenery should be preserved, some of the contractors bought green paint and started painting the hills so that the greenery is preserved. But what really is important is that, yes, certainly we as individuals can do something about it, but there is also a lot of support that is required from the state. And by state, I mean the various governments, the municipalities, and so on. Now, two things. One is a change in the mindset is what is required. That yes, there is a problem. We need to tackle the problem, and it is not that the problem is impossible to tackle. In the early 1970s, there was a mathematician in the United States, Tom Lehrer. He used to play the piano and sing songs. And in one of the songs, he had said that when you come to New York City, you have to be careful about two things. One is don't drink the water. Second, don't breathe the air. Once you're able to do these two things, you're pretty safe in New York City. But then, since then, things have changed in New York City itself. But unfortunately, we did not wake up to these kind of problems. Perhaps we did not have these kind of problems in the early 1970s. But when we did start having these problems, and when they were pointed out to us by people like Anil Agarwal, that mindset did not change. So today, you have a problem of air pollution, which I think everybody knows about. Yet, the state is not acting. They know that there is a problem, but they don't. There is no change in the mindset of the state to recognize that there is a problem and we need to do something about it. And that is why there was this struggle in the courts. From time to time, Sunita used to come very often. Others from CSE also used to come very often to say that, well, there is a problem of air pollution and we need to do something about it. It's a negative problem in the sense that it damages one's health. You can't breathe properly, you get things like asthma and so on and so forth, bronchitis. But no, the reaction of the state was very, very slow, if at all. There are certain positive things, which also need to be highlighted as a matter of change. The use of solar energy, for example. Now, I remember having gone to many courts in the districts in the northeast and in some other parts of India and central India, Chhattisgarh and Jharkhand and so on. And in these courts, what I found was that there was no electricity. And if it was going to rain and there were dark clouds, no lights, the judge would just get up and say, sorry, I can't work, there's no electricity. So the court would have to be adjourned for the day. We tried to introduce computerization. We've been very successful at that, but computers don't work because there's no electricity. So we started advocating the use of solar energy. We said that why don't you use solar energy? How much does it take to generate electricity for a computer? But again, there was this mindset resistance, a change in the mindset. There was a resistance to that. Many of the chief justices, unfortunately, I'm sorry to say that, said, yeah, solar energy, we'll think about it, but electricity we are going to get. So why should we worry about solar energy? Why should we try and talk to the government? The governments also took no interest in it, in spite of the campaigns that have been launched in several places saying that you're going to get a subsidy, 50% off, 25% off, 60% off. But no state government actually came forward and said that yes, we will help the courts. The courts did not go forward to the state and say that, well, after giving us subsidies so we can generate electricity. So whether you look at negative aspects of air pollution, for example, or positive aspects of solar energy, for example, you always come up with this block of a mindset change. I think that is very important, and I think that is somewhere that is an area where I think you as communicators, as journalists, can play a very, very important role in changing that mindset and bringing about this awareness that yes, there are problems, there are advantages that you can that are also available, and please use those advantages. The second lesson that I learned during this entire period of dealing with environmental issues was that we do not have any empirical studies that have taken place. We do have some. CSE has done some. I'll come to that a little later. But the kind of empirical studies that air pollution has on the health of children, for example, or vehicles have on air pollution, or some other waste burning, stubble burning that you have in Punjab. Now, there is no empirical study, there is no authoritative study that has been done. It takes time, it takes a year, it takes 2 years, it takes 3 years. But in spite of this long gap, between the 80s and today, we've not done empirical studies on many of these issues. The quality of water. I have seen the Ganga going from bad to worse. I mean, it was very clean at one point of time. I remember as a child, we used to get a bottle of water and we were told that this water is never going to get contaminated. Today, you take a bottle of water from the Ganga and it is contaminated. Now, this change is taking place, but no study has been done, or if there is a study that has been done, it has not been published. During the hearing of some of these cases, we were told about Delhi. In Chittaranjan Park in Delhi, a study was done about the adverse impact of air pollution on children. It was done by foreign agencies, some university and some doctors and so on and so forth. That was one. There were 1 or 2 other studies that had been done, but again by foreign agencies. What was the reaction of the state? The state was, oh, these people are foreigners, what do they know? And can we rely upon reports given by foreigners? Why should we rely upon reports given by foreigners? They can say whatever they like, so they're not trustworthy. Our question was that, do you have any report done by anybody from India? The answer was no, we have any report. Yes, there was a report from CSE, but okay, CSE has done a report, so what? We'll have to study it. We'll have to see what was to be done about it. We'll have to see how accurate it is and so on. But any report by the government of India, sponsored by the government of India, the answer was no. So on the one hand, you have independent agencies, universities, doctors who are doing a study. That is not accepted. It's done by somebody from a foreign country. You have a study done by some Indian organization like CSE. Well, we have to examine that. Any study done by you, as the principal player? No, we have not done any study. So, how do we proceed in a situation like that? That is a problem. Where is the data that is available which everybody will accept, particularly the state, in the form of the government or the political executive? Where is that data which they will say, all right, this data is accurate, we accept that because of this data there is a problem and let's try and find a solution. That is very, very critical. And I think this is one area that we really need to work on, to try and find out who are the ones who can do this, study which is credible, which is acceptable to the government. There are reports, I don't want to say it, but recently a report had come, not on the environment, but on some other issue, and the government has just debunked it. They said that we are not accepting this report. Now, that's a government report, or it is done by persons who are associated with the government. and two persons who had prepared the report have resigned. So, how do we tackle a problem if we don't acknowledge the existence of a problem? How do we tackle a problem if we don't acknowledge the existence of data which is available? You know, you can question the data, but at least acknowledge the fact that there is some data available. The third thing really is follow-up measures. You know, that is again an area which I think is very, very critical, and one of the reasons why we've been able to improve the air quality, as Sunita says, to some extent in Delhi, is because of the constant monitoring and follow-up. Today in the morning in the canteen, there was talk about this monitoring of performance of some of the activities going on over here. You have social audits in some of the laws. In the Manrega Act, for example, you have social audits. In the Juvenile Justice Act, you had something called social audits, which is a way of finding out what exactly is going on. Are your policies working? Are your activities resulting in something beneficial to the people? Or are they not resulting in beneficial to any benefit to the people? What are the gaps that can be found through these performance monitors or through these social audits? Now, so far as the legal field is concerned, I will tell you two instances where things like performance audits were necessary or social audits were necessary. One is a case of Bandhua Mukti Morcha, which you would have heard at some point of time about bonded labor. It was a decision that was given in the 1980s. What did the Supreme Court say? The Supreme Court said there is a Bonded Labor Abolition Act, so you can't have bonded labor. It's as simple as that. And in Haryana, a very, very large number of bonded laborers were freed. What happened after that? After that, these people went looking for a job. They couldn't get a job. Nobody wanted to employ them. So they had some kind of sustenance, though as bonded laborers, unfortunate. But from the frying pan, in a sense, they went into the fire. They had no job. Many of them came back to those same contractors and said, "Nauki to hone." They said that, "Listen, we were paying you 100 rupees at that point of time. You left. Today we are going to pay you 80 rupees. Are you going to accept it?" They had no option but to accept it. So this is where the monitoring or the follow-up becomes important. That you have done something as a court, you have done something, you have passed direction, you have passed an order. What is the impact of that order? How has it helped in improving the situation, if at all? In this particular case, it did not. Of course, a lot of other people got benefits. I'm just giving you one example where it failed to some extent, but yes, it would have, and it did, give benefit to other bonded laborers in other parts of the country. The second is the case of Vishaka, state of Rajasthan and Vishaka, which dealt with sexual harassment of women in the workplace. Now, the Supreme Court said in 1999 there should be no sexual harassment of women in the workplace. These are the guidelines that we think should be implemented. It took Parliament 15 years, or maybe 2017-18. In Muzaffarpur, in Bihar, you would have heard of this case, where in a shelter home, 34 girls, all of them were raped. Not once, not twice, but over a prolonged period of time. Now, unless you monitor what is happening, things will just remain. If they are bad, they will remain bad. If they are good, they will remain good, but they will not become better. Now, Muzaffarpur was one incident which really, brought home the point that you need this monitoring. We tried to the extent possible to monitor the investigations to see that they were going on the right track. But then last week I read in the newspapers that things have not moved, and they've had to shift the trial to Delhi. Why should that happen? So really this implementation aspect, the knowledge aspect,